Killed by Google Part 2. Let's not waste any time. Yeah, the link to the website is in the description. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. First, we're going to talk about products killed in 2017, like Project Tango. It was a 3-year-old API for AR apps. Google Portfolios was an 11-year-old feature in Google Finance to track security. The YouTube Video Editor, a web-based tool for editing videos. It was 7 years old, and now they actually have it as a feature in the YouTube Studio. Trendalizer was a 10-year-old platform for viewing trend data. Glass OS was an Android OS, but for Google Glass. Wow, but they look ugly. Look at them, ew. It was 4 years old. Google Map Maker, mapping and editing service. It was 9 years old. Google Spaces was a 9-month-old app for discussing and messaging. So, like, Google Hangouts. Google Handsfree was a payment app. It was 11 months old. Gesture Search allowed people to search on their Android phone using gestures. And that's every killed product in 2017. It's pretty short. On to 2016. Panoramio was an 11-year-old tagging and photo sharing product. Google Showtimes was a movie search page. So you would search up Showtimes and be shown this fancy page. It was 11 years old. Pixay was an app for making animations. It was 4 years old. Google Nexus, Google's Android phones. They were 6 years old. Together was a year-old watch face for Android Wear for messaging. Project Ara was a 3-year-old smartphone project. Web hosting in Google Drive was a way to upload different files to Google Drive, like HTML. It was 4 years old. Google Swiftly converted Swift files to HTML since Swift files and Flash are kinda dead. It was 5 years old. Google Wallet Card, debit card, 2 years old. Nexus Player was a year-old digital media player to use the internet and play games. Revolve was a 4-year-old control system to monitor different devices from one hub. Freebase was a 9-year-old knowledge base of data composed mainly by the community. Google Now was a Google search feature that gave you predicted cards and Google information. It was 4 years old. MyTracks was a 7-year-old GPS for Android. That's it. UWeave, pronounced microwave, was a weave protocol for microcontrollers. It was only 4 months old. Lightning Round. Let's go. Google Compare, a year-old service to compare offers. Pi was a 2-year-old group chat website for work. Google Maps Engine, 2-year-old tool for map creations. Songza, 8-year-old music streaming service. And Google Code, 11-year-old service for code documentation. And that's every killed Google product in 2016. Before 2019, Google really didn't kill many products. On to 2015. Google Blog Search API was a 10-year-old API to search for blogs. Google Earth Browser plugin was a plugin for Google Earth. It allowed you to make 3D drawings with JavaScript. It was 7 years old. Timeful was an iOS to-do list calendar. It was 4 years old. Picasa. The only reason I'm making this video, I'm putting in countless hours to see a number go up twice. Picasso was a photo and video album. It was 13 years old. Google Flu Trends was a 7-year-old service for predicting flu activity. Google Catalogs was an application that sent people virtual catalogs. It was 4 years old. Google Moderator, a service to rank user-submitted questions and ideas. It was 7 years old. Android at Home with the @ was a 4-year-old device to connect and communicate with other home appliances. Google Helpouts was an online service where people shared stuff on live video to teach people, help out. It was a year old. Viva Pay was a 2-year-old ticketing platform for Kenya. Google Play Edition was a year-old series of Android phones and tablets. Google Glass Explorer Edition, the Google Glass that everyone knows and loves. Yep, definitely. They were smart glasses that looked really ugly. That's it. It was 2 years old. World Lens translated text on images into different languages. It was later added as a feature of Google Translate after 4 years. And that's every killed Google product in 2015. I've only been recording for 7 minutes. This video is gonna be short. Short video. I'm gonna check YouTube just to make this longer. Rocket League Season 3. Wow. Wait, what? Whoa, it's a NASCAR. Whoa, it's a car. Why is there a track? Wow. Oh man, whoa. Wow. Season 3 begins April 7th. Season 2, music all day. Season 3. Orkut was a social network for meeting new and old friends. It was 10 years old. Google TV was a TV platform for Android and Chrome. It was 3 years old. Quick Office was an app for editing and viewing spreadsheets and documents. It was 9 months old. Google Question and Answers was a 7-year-old knowledge market for users to find, question and answers. Wildlife Interactive, social marketing application for businesses. It was a year old. BufferBox was a year-old Canadian service for picking up online purchases. Slick Login was an Israeli service for sound-based password login. It was 7 months old. Both Bufferbox and SlickLogin were startup companies acquired by Google. Google Schemer was a 2-year-old service for sharing and discovering things to do. So, any other social media? Google Chrome Frame was a plugin for Internet Explorer that made web pages display using WebKit. Google Notifier was a 9-year-old notification system to notify people of emails. That's it. Bump was an app for transferring contacts and photos between phones. It was 5 years old. Google offers a service that offered discounts similar to Groupon. It was 2 years old. And that was every killed Google product in 2014. Into the last year for this video, 2013. I know this video was a lot shorter, but I covered 4 years, okay? That's a lot of years. Google Currents was a magazine app. It was replaced by Google Newsstand after 2 years. Hello. Google Checkout, an online payment service for simplifying checkouts. It was 7 years old. Google Trader was a 3-year-old goods trading service for places around Africa. iGoogle was not a Google iPhone. It was an Ajax-based start page. Ajax is a programming language. It was 8 years old. Google Latitude was a 4-year-old feature of Google Maps that later became Dodgeball, and Dodgeball is just a feature of Google Maps. I actually don't know. I don't remember what it did. Google Reader was a 7-year-old RSS Atom feed aggregator. RSS is a web feed that allows users and applications to access updates
to websites in a standardized computer-readable format. These feeds can, for example, allow users to keep track
for new, and that's all the Wikipedia page says. Nexus Q was a media player for Android devices. It was a year old. Punched was a 2-year-old loyalty card app for small businesses. It was originally a project at the California Polytechnic State University. Building Maker allowed people to make 3D models of buildings from Google Wait! Didn't Google Earth browser plugin do the same thing? It was 3 years old. Google Talk, a messaging service, also known as GChat. It was 7 years old. Google SMS was a phone number that you could text questions to, and you could get an answer back. Wow, magical. It was 8 years old. Google Cloud Connection was a cloud computing service for Microsoft Office to sync files to Google Drive. It was 5 years old. And finally, Picnic. It was a 6-year-old photo editing service, and that was every killed Google product from 2017 to 2012. But we still have a few more to do, so subscribe for part 3. Coming out never. It's never coming out. Until next time, goodbye.